Yeah. Harold, I got one for you. This is a deep one, Harold, so pay attention here, sir. McKenna from Trabuco Canyon says, I know that as you should write questions for like interview shows or CNN or something. This is pretty heavy. I know that as a director, you must capture the darkness and uniqueness of the shadow hunting world. How did you, Harold, manage to put your own spin on this world while still staying true to Cassie's vision? Boom!
Yeah, that's a good question.
Raise your hand. Who wrote that? You're hired.
That's a good question. Great. Thank you. Well, it's that's actually one of the tougher ones because I just really wanted to be true to the characters, and I just wanted to imagine how would it be for a young girl who thinks she's normal to suddenly come home and find out that her mom is gone. And I can somehow imagine, because I lost my mother when I was really young, and I can imagine how that would be. But then when you start throwing supernatural stuff into it, so the reality that you're trying to hold on to is no longer real either. And then you start saying, well, and everything you remember is not your own memories, and your mom is not what you think she is, and the guy you're falling in love with is, you know? I just thought that was really, that's pretty dark in itself. So I just wanted to make sure that it played real, and I think that's how we achieved it.
One more question for you, Harold. This is from Isabella in LA. Is that you? All right, you're on the spot here. Let's see if your question can stack up to the last one. Is there a particular movie that has inspired your filmmaking?
Yes, there's a couple. I was very inspired by The Exorcist.
Nice.
I think
you guys have all seen The Exorcist, right?
Yeah. You shouldn't have. Some of you are too young. Don't watch that. You'll cloud your mind.
I saw that when I was 11, and I didn't sleep with the light off for about a month.
It'll ruin your life. It'll ruin your life.
Terrified me.
So you sleep with the lights on after The Exorcist? Greenhouse. Yeah. Sophie in LA says, Cassie, what is the main message that you hope your readers would... Is that you? All right. Okay, Cassie, look at her as I read this question. What is the main message that you hope your readers would get from your stories?
I want people to be able to read the books and take away, the kind of the messages that they, read into them. A lot of it has to do with who you are as a reader, but I guess I would say it's all kind of encapsulated in what Jay says to Clary, which is that all the stories are true.
And it's girl power, right?
Oh, yeah. Also, girls kick ass, but you knew that.
Dana from Forestville says, once again for Cassie, when you were growing up, what were your favorite children and young adult books? What inspired you from a book perspective?
I mean, when I was growing up, the classic fantasy books, Lord of the Rings was my favorite. My dad gave me when I was 10. And it always inspired me. And in fact, when I found out that they greenlit this movie, I told myself I could buy one thing. And so I went out and I bought first editions of the Lord of the Rings in my library. So I look at them when I need inspiration.
This question is for Kevin. Lauren Wood from Huntington Beach. Oh yeah, Lauren, right there.
Hey, what's up?
All right, Kevin, look at her as I ask you this question. Picture her.
I'll look right at
her.
her.
Kevin, are you looking forward to scenes with Magnus in the upcoming movie? I think I said that right.
What if I just said no? I've actually asked him to cut all these things. No, of course. I mean, it's there's such an integral part of the telling of the story. So yeah, I mean, I think. Well, I'm excited to shoot we start the next film in a month, so we start the sequel. Yeah. So I think we're all excited. We've been doing this sort of press thing for a couple months now, so we're excited to get back to work, and all the fans have sort of given us this sort of new energy to go back and make an even better movie the second time around. So we're excited.
Let me ask a question just for everybody. How many movies total will there be, and what's the shooting schedule? Like, you're going to shoot them all at once?
Well, hopefully there's 6, right?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully
there's 6. Here, but are you trying to lock them all down within the next, say, year or two? Or are we going to go for, we doing it Harry Potter style? Or how are we doing this?
I'm only going to be looking this way for a little while.
You're going to be hot for a while, Lily. Lily, you'll be hot for a while, Lily. Greenhouse! Mackenzie, a question for Kevin. Kevin, what is your favorite part of your character? Mackenzie from Riverside, by the way. That's
Oh, hi, Mackenzie from Riverside. My favorite part of the character, he's complicated. You never really know what's going on with him. I think sometimes in these films, they try to create these very one-sided, like these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. I think Alec's sort of in the middle. I kind of like that about him. I mean, I think his intentions are always good, but he's a bit of a strange character, and I like that. That was sort of what drew me to him. So, and I think people, you know, seems like the fans really love him. So I felt sort of, you know, an obligation to sort of tell the story of this character, but for him to not always have to be really nice, because he's kind of mean to Clary for the whole first film. He's not a particularly nice guy, which I liked.
He's evil. Crystal from Mentone has a question for Robert. Where you at, Crystal?
Where are you, Crystal? Where are you?
Right there. I think you've already answered a portion of this question earlier, but she said, did you read the whole series? You said no. He said you didn't even read the script. Is Simon your favorite character? I guess, could you have played another one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Absolutely, he's my favorite character. You know, especially because I get to spend the most time with him. You know, and basically coming up with a way of representing him. But I really like being the guy who basically has to have an armor that isn't, you know, leather mail and weapons. He's the guy at the back who's basically trying to digest this big supernatural, dumbfounding world through you know, the guises of humor and trying to digest the whole thing in a very normal way. And it's nice, it's fun being the normal eyes in a very abnormal world. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully you can juice a lot of comedy from that position.
From Mission Viejo, Yasmin. Where you at? Right there?
Since 2:30.
What? Since 2? Come here. Give her this bag. Give her this bag. Can you pass this bag? It's kind of a heavy bag. Look at it. Since 2. Give me that bag of stuff. I have no idea what's the tier reserve. Robert, Yasmin with the bag of stuff there. That she's crying. I love you. Here we go.
Oh, Yasmin.
Hey, can somebody?
It's nice because there's a T-shirt in the bag and she's using it now.
Hey, can somebody do me a favor? Can somebody do me a favor? Can you get Yasmin and bring her to the stage over here? Please. Let's go right here. Bring Yasmin to the stage.
She's gonna faint.
I'm sorry, I can't do this for everyone, but just... Hey, I'm hosting this damn thing. Let's do it. Let's do it now. Yasmin! Hold on, you guys. Bring me Yasmin. I will not wrap this interview until I talk to Yasmin this day. Where's she at? I think she's
Yasmin is a
lost.
shadow hunter.
No, don't go into Tiffany's.